You are listening to the TN Horror Podcast Network. Horror with a sense of humor.
We have had a doozy of a day.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
Johnny! Welcome to the Horror Basement. Coming to you from our homes. I'm one of your hosts, Johnny. We've got Jim Jam Yeti and Angela here with us.
Hey.
Jim Jam here.
Jim Jam. Not everybody can see that. And we are serving up horror all over the land like biscuits and gravy. You know how we do it. That's right. We're all at home once again in this time. We're going to talk about The House by the Cemetery. Is it 1981?
Yeah.
That's going to be the movie of the week, and we're going to do a Mount Rushmore on who would you put on your Mount Rushmore as far as fucking cat, as far as character or director or what else? What else was it, Yeti?
We're going to go wide and deep and do characters from movies, literature, comic books. You could do directors, writers, creators. It's just the whole shebang.
Yeah, so it's going to be like just far and wide, and I think mine's going to be a little bit different, maybe, possibly. I'm going to throw some curveballs. So. I'm going to throw a little bit of curveballs in there. I think it's really weird doing it this way because these headphones, I can't hear myself, and I'm so used to hearing myself through the microphone, like, you know how I sound. So this is really weird. Even though we did it for the last couple of weeks, it's still this week has been even. This week is even worse for some reason.
This week is definitely weird.
Yeah, so we're at home. Y'all want to just jump into the Mount Rushmore? We're going to try not to talk about the coronavirus this week.
Well, you just did, motherfucker.
Well, I'm talking about we're not going to get in detail.
Yeah.
Just so everyone knows beforehand, bitch.
My bad.
Goodness. But who wants to go first?
Ladies first.
Oh, putting her on the spot. Yeah. He's just doing that because.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
Yeah. He's just doing that so he didn't get no's.
Yeah. I was going to say, so with mine, because you made it so broad, I decided to kind of narrow mine down because I've just been involved in horror at too early of an age. So I went with the movies that first influenced me and so forth. And I don't know. I had a tough time with this, but I would say because I started watching horror movies probably at around age. Well, I was into King Kong and Godzilla at around 4 years old, but then it moved up around 5. I remember seeing my first horror films. So that's kind of where I went, the ones that scared me the most at the time. One of the very first horror films I remember seeing was George Romero. So I put him on there because of Night of the Living Dead. And Romero then led me into Fulci Zombie too, which then freaked me out because I loved water. And once I found out zombies could swim in the water, that freaked me out. The next one I chose was Rick Baker. And I did that because of It's Alive, American Werewolf in London, and King Kong. Those were huge when I was little. And then I did Leatherface because I thought that movie was real when I was a kid.
Oh, wow.
Because I was that young. And I
believed it too.
When I saw him come out of that door, it was, wow, it blew me away, terrified me. And then probably one of my all-time favorites, this is a duo, Reagan and Pazuzu from The Exorcist.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and then I did do, I know you said you could have like honorable mentions.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I did come up with those. So I I grew up as the only person around that watched horror movies. I didn't have any friends that watched horror movies or anything, and this was a ritual. Every Friday, Saturday night, that's what I did. And the two biggest people that I got to do it with was Joe Bob Briggs and Svengoolie. So that meant a lot to me growing up. And then I had Freddy Krueger, and because when that movie came out, I could not sleep or take a shower or sleep. Oh, I should say I couldn't take a bath. I stopped taking baths for years because of that. Yeah. And then Michael Myers and John Carpenter. That movie, wow, that scared the crap out of me. And forever, when I hear John Carpenter's score, that's Halloween to me. And then lastly, Cujo and the Amityville House. I still refuse to go in a house that looks like the Amityville House. So that's it for me.
Your list is a lot better than mine because I didn't write anything down like a dumbass. So I should have.
I think Romero is a damn good choice because I don't think we would be where we are without Romero. He's one of those that I don't know, man. Just because everything that we have, like all the zombies we have today, which I'm so kind of glad that we're getting away from everything has to be zombies, because then zombies can be fucking cool again. All the fucking the basis of the zombie lore we have is all Romero, and that's just like permeated throughout the whole genre. And you get to see Night of the Living Dead in a shit ton of different movies because he never even copyrighted
him. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all fucking not open source.
Public domain.
There you go, that one.
I did something smart.
Yeah, that kind of shocked me.
See, everybody thinks highly of me.
Yeah.
Now, but yeah, definitely George Romero has to be on. Definitely, no doubt.
No, he didn't make it on mine though, which is mine. I do have Reagan.
Totally.
Do you?
Nice.
I got Reagan because I kind of wanted to do like a combination of like personal stuff and stuff that's like important overall. So like I had Reagan because The Exorcist was huge. Do you know that like when that movie came out, not only was it like huge lines and it was like the reason that we have blockbusters is because of The Exorcist. The first quote unquote summer blockbuster was Jaws, and they did shit the way they did because they saw how The Exorcist performed when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
So like it changed cinema completely. Also, a lot of people didn't believe in the devil like they do now until The Exorcist came out, and we had this, and it permeated this idea of the devil is real, and he's here to get you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like,
and that concept terrified me, especially as somebody who had to go to church every Sunday. That it was one of those. Okay, even if I don't believe, I'm not going to mess around with it because I don't want to take that chance.
Yeah.
So it did. I feel like The Exorcist is kind of like, cocaine or something. You're always looking for that next big rush that you got from The Exorcist, and no movie tops it. Anything in that genre.
And I've seen The Exorcist probably 75 times.
Oh yeah.
And it holds up.
Absolutely. I just watched it the other day.
Did y'all watch that episode of was it Cursed on Shudder, talking about The Exorcist?
Yeah.
I didn't watch it. No.
I started watching that.
Already, so.
Yeah, I started watching it, but like, I don't know. I just didn't like I felt like a lot of the shit they were doing was like a reach, and then they would just, I don't know.
Too dramatized, not factual.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched all of them, and I know a lot of people are going crazy for it, and it was good, but I didn't like what they did when they brought in the exorcism and did all that. It just felt quacky.
Oh yeah, that was dumb as shit. I forgot about that. But it was like, I think that was the last episode I watched because it was like, what is this fucking padding? You know.
The Crow one was probably the best, but I just wish they would have stuck more with the movie, or I don't know. I mean, I get what they're doing, but in this day and age, curses just don't really jive. They don't work just because we have the internet and we have everything now. You know, more education breeds that out.
Yeah, it's not passed around like it could be before. Word of mouth, things get changed. Now you can just look everything up. Everyone's got documentation. So quick to find everything.
And I think that's also is what's ruined, you know, that like, you know, how the Amityville Horror is the house. You know, when I first saw that movie, I was like, again, that was real to me. This could happen. And, you know, now is, you know, you get more educated or the internet and you find out things aren't real, and it bums you out a little bit just because it takes some of the fun out of it.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, we watched different movies growing up because I didn't watch a whole lot of the. I seen Poltergeist, which was fucking just, you know.
I almost added the maggots. Onto my
list. And that was creepy, but like we watched a lot of, because we only had friends that could rent VHS tapes, like their parents would let them rent it, and when you stayed over. So of course we're young males, therefore it was like slumber camp something, you know. Yeah, sleepaway camp killer. Like it was all, somehow it become slasher movies. Like it was all slasher movies. There was no, this shit could be real. You know, like it wasn't anything. And of course, my story, as everyone knows, I stopped really caring about horror movies after I'd seen that one movie. So, but yeah.
Which movie?
I think it was Truth or Dare. Because it was like from 1986 or something. I'm pretty sure it was that. Like, I don't even know how I got to watch it or anything. It's just when I seen dude sawing his freaking leg off or whatever it was, and someone blowing their head off with a hand grenade, I was just like, yeah, fuck this shit.
Well, I'm also older than you guys, I think, or some of you probably. So
I was born in 1980, so.
84.
Okay, so a little bit. I was born in 76, so you know the 70s and early 80 movies were. I mean, that's what was on, and that's what I saw. Yeah. Yeah,
so it was kind of like for me, like I've told that story before. Like it made it to me where like I didn't really care for horror movies after seeing that. I was just like, fuck this. If every movie's like this, because I mean, I still watch slashers and everything. You know, because I do like a slasher movie, but I don't know. So my list is like totally different than y'all's. Trust me, totally different. I'm going back on my childhood, what I liked and what really brought me into horror. So, but Yeti's still going.
Go? Oh, is he?
I think
Yeti.
I also got Stephen King.
Yeah.
Because
I should put that on this.
Stephen King was big for me personally. Like when I started reading like novels, it was Stephen King because my mom had a huge collection. So it's Reagan, Stephen King, The Hell Priest, Pinhead.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I fucking I love Hellraiser.
I have Pinhead written down, and Stephen King. So
yeah,
Stephen King is like, I love his. I didn't read his books. I just like the movies. So
books are always better.
Besides Pet Sematary.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you know my line, Yeti. The movies would be better if you didn't read the fucking books. Stop it, motherfucker.
Aww.
No, he's trying to knock shot glasses off the top of a fucking shelf to break them.
Tucker. Tucker, crazy fucker.
Yeah. Sorry, but yeah.
Yeah, Reagan, Stephen King, Pinhead, and Herschel Gordon Lewis. Herschel Gordon Lewis is the godfather of gore, and he made a movie called Blood Feast.
Oh, yeah.
Which is fucking terrible. It's a horrible fucking movie, but it's the first splatter film. Like he did the sheep's tongue being ripped out of a chick's mouth, and he did like dismemberments and like lots of blood and gore and shit, cannibalism, and like that had never really been done. Mm-hmm. So he did that as a reaction to Psycho. When Janet Leigh is killed in the shower in Psycho, you never see the knife land and you don't really see any blood because it's all in black and white. H.G. Lewis felt ripped off by that, so wanted to make something where you're not getting shorted. So he made Blood Feast, and they marketed it like as the most disgusting film ever made, and they passed out fucking barf bags in theaters and it's all kinds of stuff. Warned, if you have medical problems, don't watch this movie because it's so shocking. Like they really got that.
Oh yeah, they were doing that shock a lot of times.
Yeah, that shock marketing. Like if they didn't, they may have not created the shock marketing, but they really expanded on it, and they expanded on what you could do in film. So without horrible fucking movies like Blood Feast, we wouldn't have, near the, even in stuff that's just mainstream horror, like even in like slashers, like fucking Friday the 13th and stuff, I don't think we would have the quality kills and shit that we were here for if it wasn't for H.G.
So, sorry about leaving there. He had a shot glass. Anyways.
Yeah.
He's broke one before, so.
Maybe he just needs a drink.
Well, maybe I just need to fucking move him. That's what he's telling me. Why can't I have stuff where I want them? That's all I'm asking.
Anymore.
Just a couple things.
No.
It's because I'm not paying attention to him. He's wanting to play.
Oh.
But that's a really good list. So was that your honorable mentions too?
I think my honorable mention would be like Clive Barker, who he wrote The Hellbound Heart and did a bunch of like King even called him like his replacement at one point. I mean, he's a killer author. And John Carpenter, just because Jesus, man, the amount of shit that he's done, like the scores that he's made are all immaculate, and the movies that he's made have like really furthered the genre and like on several levels. Like without him, you wouldn't have Halloween. You wouldn't have fucking 80% of the slashers that copied it.
True. Yeah, like I said, I went a totally different route. Because I was sitting there thinking, my childhood, what really got me into, well, I didn't believe in ghosts. It's probably from this one show. This one cartoon, and it was Scooby-Doo. Because honestly, Scooby-Doo, if you think about it, for me at least, was the first time, like really getting introduced to like ghosts might be out there as a kid. And of course, it was all fake because it's a cartoon.
Yeah.
But still, if I could include the Mystery Incorporated team, I would. Just because to me as I loved cartoons as a kid. I watched them all the time. I watched them way into adulthood, past like these kids' cartoons that I should have, because I don't know. I just really enjoyed cartoons. But Scooby-Doo to me was just, he's iconic to me. And of course, that's probably like, well, you put that on your Mount Rushmore. Why not? Like as a kid, I loved it. And I still love it. Like to this day. And they keep remaking that show. And they're going to keep remaking movies. And even like, we'll get into this. Jim Jam passed over that they're going to make a fan series, Jim Jam?
Yeah, something like that. There's
like
a trailer.
Indiegogo.
Yeah. Hopefully we're going to interview the cast. Well, me and Angela, since y'all two lamos don't want to.
Well, I found this out. I'd like to see the show before I interview someone. Because you've set up a lot of interviews with people where their shit sucks.
What, like Death House?
No, just anything.
But Death House was cool because we got to meet Kane Hodder.
Yeah, that's true.
So that was okay.
Plus, you don't even know if that series is going to be funded. And I don't know. We used to.
It is funded. They already got their money.
Oh, do they? Because we used to help the Indiegogo crowd out more, and it just kind of like you telling people about it, and then it don't come out till like 3 or 4 years later.
That's how all indie is.
Yeah, I know. So let's talk about it after it comes out. It's just,
I feel you.
You know what I mean? Because it's just like we're talking to these people, and you're talking about it, and you're talking about it, and then it finally does come out, and it is horrible. And
Okay.
you're like, well.
So what's your second pick?
Oh, because I'm bashing you too much? Is that what it is?
The
Crypt Keeper. The Crypt Keeper. Tales from the Crypt. The Crypt Keeper.
Okay, yeah.
Because I really enjoyed that show, and we technically didn't really have HBO. I think it was HBO, right?
Yeah.
But you could change it to that channel, and it would come through. You know, or when we did have HBO at some certain times. I just really love the Crypt Keeper. I love the episodes. I mean, I don't know. And like I say, a lot of mine's probably television related because movies were harder to get a hold of for me.
Right.
My parents wouldn't let us rent these horror movies as a kid growing up. And then, like I say, when I was a teenager, I really didn't watch them. I really didn't watch them even up until we started doing this, to be honest. So that's been like 5 years that I've gotten into this. You know what I mean? So a lot of my stuff is from the stuff that I did watch that was horror related. And I mean, the Crypt Keeper's iconic. You know what I'm saying? You can't. It might not be on everyone's top list, but it's just a really cool show. Tales from the Crypt was just really, really good. Sorry, I'm looking behind me because my cat is creeping. Really.
You'll see him in a minute. Just jump up.
He's on one.
Yeah.
Well, he woke up right before, like 30, 45 minutes before this, and he stays up for quite a few hours, and then So, and then of course I put Jason Voorhees because that was one of the few shows that would come on TV or movies that we would get to watch quite often. When Friday the 13th rolled around, and I've said this before. My best friend growing up from 3rd grade on until high school, his birthday was December 13th. So when we were younger, he'd have birthday parties when it fell on a Friday, like it does every time. And we'd really, just watch the movies and, have a bunch of kids, just have a lot of fun. So,
hell yeah.
Plus, I think
Cool.
I like Jason, and I'm a Voorhees team. I'm Team Voorhees over Team Kruger. Just because I like the slasher, you know what I'm saying? Like, Freddy, he's on my honorable mentions, but and Nightmare on Elm Street, the series. But I don't know. I think I watched more Friday the 13th than I did Nightmare on Elm Street. So, and plus, Friday the 13th Part 8, when they're in the New York, that was one of my favorite kills where he knocks his head off. Like, he literally knocks his block off. You know how they used to say, "I'm going to knock your block off," Like he really does. So it's just like, I would never forgot that growing up. Like it was just something, I don't know why. Like it's just, I always remember that. It's one of my favorite kills. And of course, how does he get the machete through the bed? Like he's up underneath the bed and he's just like, you know what I mean?
A lot of force. He's strong.
Yeah, but it's just,
Could you imagine? Just think if it was just a normal person and they're under there fiddling with it like.
Yeah, you're through the
goddamn spring in the fucking way.
Yeah. And you the machete would have to be right on top of you. He's a big motherfucker. So just the outlandishness of it when you think about it.
Goddamn slats.
Yeah, and when like the dude's in the outhouse or in the porta-john and he just stabs it through. I really love that. I love them type of kills. And I got a duo, and Sam and Dean Winchester from Supernatural. I know some people don't like Supernatural, but I loved it, and it was one of my favorite shows. I watched every season besides this past season because I couldn't get caught up on it, so I stopped watching it. So when it was released all in full, I could watch it. But to me, I don't know, like I really loved that world that they built.
Yeah.
And I really just enjoyed it because it was two brothers. I had a brother, and it's like, me and my, it's like you could relate, like me and my brother running around and be like, yeah, we could probably do that.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you was killers, if you was monster hunters, you'd be in a lot better shape.
Yeah.
Probably so.
You know what I'm saying? I wasn't always this big. So, yeah. I mean, of course, like I say, it's probably not on the majority of people, probably not 95% of people, but it's just Supernatural. I really love the show. It's just one of my favorite shows. I'm naturally going to put it on there. And then, of course, like I said, I had Freddy Krueger and Poltergeist, and like y'all said, I mean, there's so many like honorable mentions. It's hard to not. I mean, you can't really. Stephen King and John Carpenter, like there's so many.
Yeah.
And when you watch Romero, when I finally watched, Night of the Living Dead, even in black and white, that is such a good movie. Like,
Yeah.
when I get around to watching it, it's just like, holy shit, I really missed out on this when I was a lot younger. I might not have understood the politicalness of it though when I was younger, or what I'm saying, a little, I wouldn't have really grasped the concept, but I don't know, it's really good.
I remember watching Night of the Living Dead for the first time when I was in probably 5th or 6th grade, and I was gonna spend the night with a buddy of mine, but his sister, like, she was older, she was like in her 20s, and her boyfriend came and picked us up, went and rented Night of the Living Dead. We got like a fucking a quarter ounce of weed, and we sat in this apartment this house with no heat. It was the middle of the winter. We're all huddled up under blankets, fucking token down and watching Night of the Living Dead. It was fucking crazy, man. It just like imprinted itself on my brain.
Oh yeah, something like that would.
Still good.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Let me put it this way. Could you imagine my top 4 tattooed on me as a Mount Rushmore?
Scooby-Doo gang?
Well, no, it'd be Scooby-Doo and the Crypt Keeper with Jason and Sam and Dean Winchester. Like, it'd just be a fucked up Mount Rushmore, But that's what I was thinking, though. I was like, mine's going to be totally different, y'all. So let's get on to Jim Dream over here.
Best for last, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, I don't know if y'all think that, but of course, George Romero, you got to have the king of zombies, or the god of zombies. We'll call him that. And because this movie always stood out to me, Candyman.
I knew that would be on your list. So. Candyman, or the movie, or him himself?
Himself.
Okay.
The movie inspired it, but Candyman himself.
Yeah.
What if you put? All right.
I'm just fucking with you, dude. I'm just fucking with you.
No, you said Poltergeist. So what are you gonna have the artwork in there?
The clown.
Oh, okay. All right. You should know that I was gonna pick this one, Johnny.
Yeah.
Adam Green.
Oh my God! No, I didn't know you was gonna pick that one.
What'd
How
you
did
say?
you not?
Adam
Green. Well, because he gave us his list earlier, and I don't know why he shared it with us.
Well, no, I changed it though.
Yeah, I can see you choosing Adam Green. I mean,
he made one of my favorite horror franchises, which is Hatchet.
Yeah, I agree. I like him a lot.
And
that is a good. I mean, yeah,
Frozen was really good.
Yes.
And Digging in the Marrow, that was really good too.
The Marrow. He was showing all of his stuff in the last 2 weeks on YouTube.
Well, no, he actually showing the movies. You got to go to a link on Venmo or video, whatever you want, because you could take his page down. So he would give you the Venmo link, and it would only be available for that time period.
Okay, yeah, that's cool though. I mean, still, he was offering it up for free,
Oh yeah, that was awesome. But of course, got to put on there the duo of the best duo of them all, Tucker and Dale.
Yeah.
Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I mean, that's one of my all-time favorite movies as well. So
Love that movie.
Yes.
I'm surprised both of y'all didn't have it.
Well, I knew he was going to choose it, and as much as I like Tucker and Dale, I could only have one duo, and the world that I would have rather lived in was Sam and Dean Winchester. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, Tucker and Dale, it's just a regular word where these dumbasses are just fucking killing themselves. They're doing that in real life.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to get out of the world, you know? I'm trying to live somewhere else.
But hopefully one day we can do a commentary on Tucker and Dale.
I was going to say, hopefully one day there'll be vampires, werewolves, and you know, just going to say.
Speaking of which, I came across something the other night that I feel it's kind of off topic, but have you guys ever watched a show called The Originals?
I've heard of it. I was going to start it.
Okay, so it's a spin-off of Vampire Diaries, and it's all set in New Orleans, and it's vampires and witches and werewolves, all kind of, it's like this underground clandestine fucking political system, and it's all these, you know, it's a spooky soap opera. Okay, so I watched it, like, my wife has watched this fucking show like 3 times now.
Oh God.
And I watched it with her one time, and like I noticed that when you're involved in the show and you're like into the storyline, it's all fine, it all makes sense. But they're watching it again, and I went in the bedroom the other night and sat down and just caught a couple of scenes just out of context, and I realized that if you're watching it and you're into the fucking story, it's all fine and good, but if you catch it just out of context, you're not into it, it is the hokiest goddamn thing on TV. It's like they're all aliens pretending to be people, pretending to be vampires. It's fucking insane. It's like, I remember this being so much better. But yeah,
I have a hard time rewatching any show.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's the same way with movies. I can't watch a movie, like, I don't watch one single movie every year. Like, I don't have that, because once I start watching it, I remember exactly what happens and how it ends, and I'm just like, I know how this ends.
Yeah, it's got to be really good for me to want to rewatch it.
Or it gets to, like, one part of the movie where it's like, where it kind of lags, you know, like a lot of movies do. And then I just cut it off because I'm like, do I really want to fucking journey through this? That's just how I am. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. There's very few that I'll watch, like, more than once. And it's either got to be that it was really good or I really want somebody else to see it. Like,
I have a chunk that I'll watch over and over.
Yeah.
I just love.
I wish I could do that. I wish I could do that, but I just can't. Like, I get in, I'm just like, I'd want to see something new. I want to see something different.
Like The Thing, Exorcist, Alien, even the Conjuring movies. I can watch those over and over.
Yeah, like The Exorcist, The Thing, Halloween.
I mean, there's so many.
Like The Predator, for instance, I watch it every few years or so. Or, you know, like, I just don't have a set thing. I just can't do it. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know why, but
I'll go back and watch like Martyrs and a Serbian film again, just because it's kind of like crack. You know, they always say you're chasing that same high over and over again.
Yeah, no.
And
I don't know what high that would be on them.
I don't know.
That's a fucked up high, Yeti.
Yeah, man.
I've never done crack, so
I haven't either.
But I imagine that's how you'd feel, like shit, while you're watching it.
Just feel empty afterwards, and fucking
when
broken.
Yeah, that's exactly how I think. Yeah, that's how you'd feel. It's just.
Yeah.
Ugh. I did not enjoy that.
Yeah,
Well, I didn't think you'd like torture porn, torture horror type movies. When you said Truth or Dare bothered you.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, and like I said, I was like, I don't even know how old, like 11 or 12, and seeing that shit, I was just like, ugh, fuck this.
One of these days,
I'm all down.
Martyrs is going to be movie of the week. You just wait. One of these days.
Yeah, one of these days.
All right. Here's honorable mentions. Of course, you got Carpenter, Voorhees, Leatherface, Stephen King, Freddy Krueger, but Ash and Pumpkinhead.
Mm.
Yeah, them are good, yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to have a Pumpkinhead mask just to put on the wall.
Trick or Treat Studios.
Seems like it'd be big.
Yeah,
I think they sell it.
Yeah, I've seen it before. Maybe when I get that stimulus check again, if we get that $2,000, I'm gonna get me one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then spend some money on some paint so you can make the damn thing look good, because 90% of the shit that comes out of Trick or Treat Studios, you gotta fucking paint when it gets there to make it not look like dog shit.
I've never bought anything from them.
I haven't had any bad luck with them. I
No.
have a few things from them, yeah.
I've seen a bunch of stuff come out, and like people post pictures of it online, and it's like, that's not what that looks like in the fucking advertisement.
Oh no, yeah, mine look great.
Like they're
I have.
Like talking about the ordering of the. Have you seen that picture of what they ordered, what they said they ordered, and what they got from Wish? The Freddy mask.
Oh gosh.
Oh god, yeah.
It was amazing, that Freddy mask. It looked kind of like Marlon Wayans as a crackhead.
The Pennywise suit.
Oh
You guys seen that one where they put it on and it's just like a fucking morph suit that has Pennywise on it?
Oh god.
Yeah, it's just like like the black morph. It's just like, yeah. Dude. Cat is
Hey,
being an
another.
asshole.
I don't know if they make they make Art the Clown, but Immortal Mask. They're expensive as hell, but they make some crazy masks.
I've seen the Art the Clown mask. I couldn't wear a mask like that. I don't see how people do. Like when you wear that Wraith mask, there's just no way.
Yeah.
Plus, I wear glasses, so it'd be impossible because contacts fuck with my eyes too bad.
Yeah, that's been my problem lately. I've been trying to find a mask to wear, and like I have that Israeli gas mask, but I can't wear my glasses under it. And I got some fucking plague doctor masks, but I can't put my glasses, and I can't fucking see. So
I guess they make strong enough contacts, do they?
You have to.
I've never tried.
You have to cut a little pieces in the side of it so you can just slide your glasses over it.
Thought about it.
Or you got to do what I do, and you just got to get one of them massive heads for the little foam heads that you can put over so you can wear your glasses underneath it.
Oh my god.
Oh, Deadpool.
Yeah, old
Fat
Deadpool.
poo. What's this fucking guy doing?
I don't fucking know, dude.
Over there playing with his weenie.
Yep, playing with Winnie. He can be a little temperamental too, though. Oh shit! Now he's hugging me.
So we did. Yeti chose The House by the Cemetery. Is that who chose this? You, Yeti?
Yep, that was me.
Yay!
And a New England home is terrorized by a series of murders, unbeknownst to the guests that a gruesome secret is hiding in the basement.
Ooh,
so scary. And this was how do you pronounce it? Lucio Fulci?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess there's a lot of writers on this. There's screenplays. I'm not going to get into that. It's from 1981. It's on Shudder, so if you can go watch it if you want to. Right?
Yeah, you can go check it out on Shudder. I think they're just still doing code shut-in for fucking 30 days free.
Well, there you go, because might be shut down a little bit longer.
Yeah, and they got the whole Friday the 13th franchise on there if you want to check that out. But they've also got, I know they've got House by the Cemetery and Zombie if you want to check out some classic Fulci stuff.
Yeah, they got some Fulci. They have some Argento on there too.
Oh yeah.
So what this is it's a family. I guess they moved from Italy, right? Is that what the premise is? Because this was English dubbed, so.
Well, all the Italians are so. Especially, you'll notice this even with Argento movies. They will get actors from all over. So some might be Italian. They usually have one or two Americans in there, and so forth. And they have them speak their native language. So.
Oh, okay.
That's why it always looks funny whenever you watch the Italian horrors, and that's why.
Okay, that makes more sense because
yeah,
watching some of these movies and the audio being dubbed over just.
Yeah, they'll shoot the movie and then ADR that shit in like 18 different languages and put it out all over the world.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, for back then, I can't blame them. You know, you're trying to get it seen everywhere, right?
Yeah. In everywhere except for like America, that was kind of the thing. That's just kind of what you did.
Yeah.
So
you want me to break this movie down, or? I mean,
yeah, man. Yeah, let's go through it. I think Jim Jam's going to be have as much input now as he would any other time. So.
Oh, see, that's what it is. He's leaving because he's going to rip him apart on all of it. And
he don't have to be here for me to talk shit.
True, but we watched this a week ago, so it's not as fresh on my mind. It's a family, and they come in, and I don't know if I don't know what the guy does really. Something about paper pushing. He works in an office or something, or he's a professor. Is he a professor?
Researcher and stuff.
Researcher, yeah. I'm remembering now because I can't pull up that on my phone and have seeing y'all at the same time. But so what it is they move here. They move to upstate New England, wherever, and they give them a house to stay in by a cemetery. Where did that come from? And then I hear myself talk. By a cemetery, and it seems that they don't fucking know that it's haunted, though.
Well, the dad Norman acts really strange because the realtor and a couple, and somebody else, both act like they recognize him, and they're like, "Oh, you've been here before." So, and even he acts kind of funny because he has the picture of the house, and so you think that there's more going on, that the dad knows something, but then they never really truly address it.
Yeah, that's kind of like the babysitter later on. Like, you think that she's part of it, and then she's not. There's a lot of...
not? Like, I didn't understand any of that. Like, she's just cleaning up the blood. Like, sorry, we're getting way ahead. You need to just go watch this movie. There's no way to talk about this movie without like discussing it, going back and forth. Because at the beginning of it, they're picking up stuff, right? They go sign some papers, and the little boy sees that little girl.
Again.
Correct? Again. Yeah, because he's seen her in a picture of a window. In a picture in a window that his mom couldn't see her in. Well, and what is it? The little girl's looking at the fucking display. The mannequins.
Yeah.
That one mannequin was did y'all not get this? The one mannequin, was it?
It's the babysitter.
Yeah, it was the babysitter.
It's like she foresees stuff. I'm assuming they're dead, right? She's dead.
She's dead.
Yeah. So.
And the old woman who's in the room with her and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is it taking the place that that the little boy can see ghosts?
Well, I don't even know if it's so much that I think she's there to kind of warn him and protect him.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But I was thinking, well, maybe it's taking the premise that he's, how they say kids can see ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm throwing out here all of them guys. Okay.
That's a lot of this, but like the thing is like I'm two minds because I did enjoy the movie. Like I thought it was kind of fun, but at the same time, it's like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
I just ended up ignoring all the subplots and just focused on the haunted house plot.
Well, I would say so. This movie is part of the Gates of Hell trilogy, and this was the first one out of the three. The other two, City of the Living Dead and The Beyond, and those two I think are way better movies. Those are I enjoy those two other movies a lot.
Yeah.
So this one does feel definitely kind of all over the place. I would say a couple of the odd things that he does, that Fulci does, is the dramatic eye scenes, the close-ups on the eyes and lingering on people. The score, I know he went with Rosati, which is somebody he doesn't usually go with on most of his scores. And it's more of like a synth type, music, and with the electric guitar and the bass and stuff. And it was good, but at the same time it would just hit so hard and you're waiting for something and nothing would happen. It was very anticlimactic when that music would come in. And but that was definitely pretty strange. And the overreaction like the mom had when she saw the doll and she's in the kitchen and she freaks out, but you never understand why.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I felt like the score was really good, but not really well used.
Yes.
Like, so like I would totally listen to the score while I was doing other shit. But as far as in the movie, it wasn't really well used. And can we talk about how fucking annoying Bob was?
Yes, and creepy.
Was that the kid?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, who names a kid fucking Bob?
For real.
I'm sorry.
What would you say?
I said, who names their fucking kid Bob? Like just Bob.
Be Bobby, right?
Was it Bobby?
Yeah.
I thought
No, you would think they would at least call him Bobby or something. Bob is just...
No, they call him... It's like
he's
like Robert?
Name. Yeah,
what?
That's what I was thinking, but I always hate that. Why not say Rob then?
Yeah. What fucking... To me, Bob is like a fat Midwestern construction worker. Not an annoying ass blonde kid. I don't know. The name just didn't fit.
Well, but the voice was not his.
But still, that voice was fucking like nails on a chalkboard.
Oh, it was. Big
the voice to me sounded like it was a woman doing a child's voice.
But see, that's just the thing. When it comes to all of these, the giallo and the horror, Italian horror, that's what you got to deal with. They, like Argento always said, he never cared about the acting. It's not about the acting, it's more of the cinematography and the way it looks, that was most important to him, So
I really enjoy both.
I mean, I agree. It can really kind of take you out of the moments to not care about the acting in your movie. But visually, this was definitely, it was very clean and the color was very, usually like Argento will pick more of a color scheme and you'll see it flow throughout, where this definitely was more vibrant and stuff.
Yeah, I love some of the shots they did, especially like in the beginning. It's just these long fucking shots that linger. And sometimes for no fucking reason whatsoever other than it looks good. And like you mentioned earlier, the long shots on the eyes. I kind of almost wonder if for some of them he was like, okay, well, let me see your eyes up close to see how that's going to look on screen. Because like for instance, the babysitter, she had her fucking eyeballs were so intense.
Yeah, she's been in a few. She was in a few other movies. I know she was in Argento's movie. She was what was it? Tenebrae and Inferno.
Tenebrae is my favorite Argento film, hands down.
Yeah, I think she retired in 1985 from acting.
Yeah.
It's what I think Jim Jam's wife looked that up when we was watching it. Oh yeah, she looked like she was like a model.
Oh yeah.
That was doing movies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because her eyes, like you said, her eyes were just
they're
wow.
gorgeous. I know.
Yeah, it's just like holy shit. Like she looked like a model. I mean, and just so happened to be cast in some movies. Like we need someone really pretty that has really nice eyes, and you know. And,
Yeah.
But like we saying, the weird thing was that she was cleaning up that blood.
It was so a lot of the shots, if you noticed, they were very abrupt or didn't.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, that was one of those scenes that was really like,
I think it was.
What are you doing? I'm making coffee. No, bitch, you're cleaning blood. You know.
Yeah.
I think it's to like maybe make you think that she's in on it to twist it up and be like, aha,
Gotcha.
There's a twist. Ooh.
Yeah, like in the middle of the night when she's trying to open up the basement door, the babysitter, you know.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, hey."
Yeah.
And
he
he's just
walks
like,
off.
Cool. And fucking leaves.
Strange.
Yeah, and then when Bob, toward the end, he gets stuck in the basement, and he's screaming, and his mom is just like, Bob.
Well, yeah, it's not how people would react. That's what doesn't make sense. So, like, even when you had mentioned Yeti, when you had mentioned the scene where they were signing the rental agreement, and they realize Bob's not in the car, they just look at each other. Who does that? Any parent that doesn't see their kid, it's right away you start calling their name. You're looking around.
Right.
They're just kind of in this.
True.
Oh, he's just across the street over talking to nobody.
Oh, he had a doll. He had a fucking doll that he was holding on to.
She gave him.
And that was the thing. Like, I think maybe that's what they were trying to set you up for the other stuff. Maybe like these people are not normal people. You know, their kid gets lost, and they're just like, no big deal. Where'd he go?
I just think that's them. If you watch a lot of the Italian horror movies, it's kind of typical.
Yeah.
I don't watch a whole lot of them, so.
Yeah.
It's like there's a lot of like that's what you gotta kind of. I feel like watching like old Italian stuff, you gotta kind of allow for shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just be in for the ride that they've set you up for. It's a lot with Argento and a lot with Fulci too. It's just like you're fucking just your notions are not like of like human communication and reaction and shit. Just shelve that for a little bit because these aren't humans.
Man, do they make up for it in the kill scenes? There's
fuck.
I mean, right away you open up with, you know, the knife through the back of the head, out the mouth, you know?
Yeah.
What about that, Jim Jam?
Oh, man, that was terrible. How's it going to go through the top of your head and come straight out your mouth?
Yeah, he fucking nitpicked this from the very beginning.
Man.
That's the ride we rode from this.
Man.
I was like, you're really focusing on that.
Yeah.
The best though was the dramatic of the bat scene.
Oh my fucking god, that noise. That was so cool.
I was like,
he stabs this bat and then blood like comes out of its pores everywhere.
I love how it splashes. This poor kid is gonna need therapy for the rest of his life because I like how he's standing there and they all get splattered with blood, you know, and then you see the babysitter and the head rolling down the stairs, and I mean
that bat was
great.
Damn tick though.
Yeah, the bat was a tick. He said the bat was a tick. Yeah,
coming off, he couldn't get the motherfucker off of him.
But he's just sitting there like his wife's getting attacked by a bat. And he's just like looking.
Yeah, he's just like, Let's see if she can get rid. No, what? Well, she's almost got. No, well, fuck. Hang on, I'll get it.
Right away. I just thought that was kind of funny in the beginning because when I was younger, we used to always have bats that would fly low. And my mom would always be like, be careful because if they get stuck in your hair, they'll freak out and start, trying to get out and get tangled and stuff. So right away, I'm like, oh, she's going to get it.
Hey, I'm going to break something real quick. I have to show this because I saw this earlier. A fucking moose bat.
Oh, that's fake. Yeah.
How's that fake?
That's like a fake picture. They said I seen someone post like one that is like 12 centimeters. Like they're not that big.
Yeah, he's like holding it closer to the camera so you get that forced perspective.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I just want to show the moose bat.
Oh God. So the bat attacks him, and we're jumping all around, but it wouldn't let go of his hand.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand. I was just like, what the fuck is going on?
That's the dramatic effect of Italian horror.
Yeah.
Blood, and this motherfucker, he just gets his hand wrapped.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You don't need to go to the fucking
don't need rabies
hospital
shots or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
No, just wrap it up. You're cool.
It's late 1970s, so we don't have rabies.
Windex on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take some Robitussin, you'll be good. You'll be fine.
Are we close enough to talk about the?
We can talk about whatever, man.
Was it a doctor or something in the basement?
Dr. Freudstein. Yeah.
This movie kind of was boring to me, but when it got to that, man, the makeup for him, I really liked that though.
Okay, so that's why I had brought this up before we started recording. As soon as I saw him, and they both came out the same year, was Clash of the Titans, and I don't know I can't remember what they were called, if they were called the Furies or whatever. But do you remember they came out during the end too of the movie? They looked just like that in the face, and they had the big wings, and they'd wrap themselves around the humans and then suck out all of them, and you'd see the bones drop. So that's what that reminded me of. I thought that was so cool.
Holy shit. I think I need to watch Clash of the Titans.
Oh,
That sounds really fucking cool.
I loved that movie when I was a kid. That's what one of my cats is named after, Bubo the owl.
Oh, hell yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much the premise of this. Is we could just call him a Dr. Death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Living downstairs in this basement forever. Do what?
That's from a Rob Zombie movie.
Yeah, but come on, like this didn't fucking. You see this, and that's exactly who that motherfucker was built off.
Yeah, like he didn't totally rip off House by the Cemetery for.
Well, he said that he needed live humans to renew his cells. So
he had a little kid's hand in one part of it, didn't he? Like where they chop his hand off in this movie. Like you have like a little kid's hand,
all Deadpool style, and he cried like a little kid, which was weird.
What was up with that shit? Like, is he taking little kids' voice boxes? Like, what?
It hurts to get your hand cut off.
No, but that's what you'd hear, though. Like, the little kids. Like, I don't know. It was weird.
But they stab him. And just like, it looks like shit and maggots.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I told you.
God.
Maggots should be on my Mount Rushmore because they freak me out. Everything they're in is ooh.
When the mom was getting drugged down the steps, them steps was not. Ladder was only like 10, not even probably 8 or 9 foot long, but boy, that ladder seemed like it was 12 or 14 foot.
Thump, 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 thump.
That's my thing. Like, what the fuck do they use to fucking drag her down there? Like, if that was her, that shit was metal. It's metal steps. It's just like ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom.
Boom, 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 boom.
Like,
And
damn.
you could tell she was like fucking really throwing her head off into the fucking steps as she was going down. It's great.
Did they ever kill him?
No.
They didn't kill him though. Like he's still alive.
No.
Yeah. So. Yeah, because he I guess he's using her, but the kid got away. Oh, Bob.
Yeah, I was really hoping, man.
Well, that was the thing about the ending too, because both his Dr. Death's wife and then the little girl, is it Anna or something? I forgot her name. They are there at the end and take him off, and it's kind of weird because it's like, okay, now he's with them.
So what I'm thinking is I don't know how to explain it, how it would be explained. He passed over, but they took his soul. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not going to live in the hell that's captured in the old dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to get to live in the house and be free to live in the house, but you're not going to go to hell. You know what I mean?
I guess. I don't know.
I'm reaching here, guys. Okay.
Well,
I was really hoping that he was going to die on screen because, it's Italian, so they kill kids. They don't have the same scruples as American directors. And I was like, yes, fucking, yeah. And there was a scene there where the dad was trying to get into the basement, and I thought they were going to just go full Victor Crowley and fucking chop his face through the door, but no.
Yeah, I know.
Well, he was chopping that one part really easy. Chopping right through it, and then he got to the other part, and it just took him forever. It's like, dude, what are y'all doing?
Just kick the fucking door.
I was just gonna say that. Yes. Yeah. Why?
And then I don't know. That's like nitpicking, though. I mean, because you got to have the suspense, and you can't just rush in. But yeah, I totally thought, holy shit, this kid's face is just
the cut around the door handle.
Yeah, they cut around the lock or whatever.
It was asinine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But these people weren't normal, so I mean.
Yeah.
No, that's. But that's
you've seen that throughout the movie.
Like I said, you see, that's just how the Italian horrors are. You'll see that in so many of the characters. They'll act. It just kind of, I don't know, unsettling.
That would kind of explain on why they would fucking be in that situation and get killed, because they're not that bright.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's there because he was taking over the research that what's his name was doing, who had killed himself. So, I just think he's trying to find out what was really going on. So that's why he's like, I'm going to rent this house that he was in and everything.
And that fucking while we're talking about the other dude, the research assistant.
Yeah.
He was so fucking weird. See that?
Creepy.
That beam? That's where he hung himself.
I know. Boom.
Let me get a close up on a fucking rail.
Yeah.
Rail of death.
But yeah, like we said, you go check this movie out on Shudder. Check out a bunch of movies on Shudder. You might as well.
Yeah. This is one of those that I think. I mean, if you're into horror and you haven't seen it yet, you need to go watch it.
That's your Jim Jam.
And watch the other two that go with it.
They
correspond, but they're part of the trilogy, and they're really good.
The Beyond is really good. I really like The Beyond.
I say we should do them both next.
Are they on Shudder still?
What's that?
Are they still on Shudder?
It might be.
The next movie.
I know City of the Living Dead is.
I have that on DVD.
Johnny.
Do what?
We have City of the Living Dead on DVD.
Huh.
But the next movie is going to be from a patron, correct, Jim Jam?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the patron request.
Nice.
What was it, Furies?
Yeah, we gotta give a shout out to him because he's a $20 patron.
Yeah.
Yeah, we greatly appreciate it.
Lord us, we could not believe it. What? But yeah. So what was the movie?
The Furies.
Yeah.
Shout out to the request from Alex Hinman. I actually watched this movie kind of like a few weeks back. It was one of those. It was one of those like you put on a movie on Shudder, and then the next one plays, and I was fairly intoxicated, but the Furies came on, and I was kind of sidetracked too. It was later at night, but when I actually sat down and like I watched the last, I don't know, half of it, it was really fucking cool.
Yeah, I watched it.
What is it? What's the premise of this movie? Are they in the woods?
Yeah.
They're kidnapped.
Women.
The women are. Yeah, the women are kidnapped, and it's like they're paired off with. Yeah,
because
one of the killers.
It's been on when you turn it on Shudder, and it's just like
Shudder TV. Shudder
TV, but I'm always toward the end of it. Every fucking time I turn it on.
Right.
So I'm like, well, I'm not going to start this movie because I was coming on there to watch something else to begin with, So I'm not going to start this movie. It's already fucking toward the end, and it's almost the same spot every time I turn the some bitch on. But who was that? Who donated? Who was the patron? Did you say Yeti?
Yeah, it was Alex Hinman.
Alex Hinman. So we appreciate you. With that, he's going to get a shirt, stickers, a button, and he got to choose a movie.
We need to go ahead and say this now. The shirt will no longer be available for that until we can at least get shirts made up.
Yeah, because that's going to be the difficult part is getting the shirt made. Because we got somebody that will make the shirt, but with everything that's going on, it's the shirt there. Like, it's not really essential travel. So it's a little bit more difficult.
And if you want us, back us on Patreon or whatever, just know that when you do, if you get a sticker or something, it's a one-time thing. You're not going to get a sticker a month.
Yeah. I mean, obviously.
That should be known, right?
Yeah.
Just to make sure.
But you got to clarify, you're not getting a shirt every month.
No. Yeah.
It's just not, it's not doable.
You do get lifetime access to Jim Jam's premium Snapchat.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Do you like fat guys eating mayonnaise?
Fat guys throwing up from eating mayonnaise.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. He don't fucking like mayonnaise. That'd be the worst thing. But yeah, we really appreciate it. And also, we do have two other people that donate, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Isaac Thorne and Wes Moody.
Yeah, so we appreciate them too. I mean,
Isaac Thorne, you can go to isaacthorne.com, use code HOMEBOUND, and get The Gordon Place, which is fucking amazing, and all of his short stories, which are also really good, for free with code HOMEBOUND on ebooks. Okay. Yeah, you go to the site and code HOMEBOUND gets you free ebooks of all Isaac Thorne stuff. It's worth it. You should totally do it.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree.
And as always, go check us out anywhere, social media, at the Horror Basement Podcast.
I'm gonna say this now, Angela. By the way, I listened to your one of your stories, and for a first-time writer, sounded like I was listening to something that a person wrote that's been writing for a while. So, good job on that. Great job. By the way, got a book coming out sometime.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Me too.
Hey, maybe we can drop it around Halloween.
Yeah, that's kind of the goal. A late fall kind of release. I think we've got everything in. We just gotta get everything stitched together and start doing stuff with it. We'll go from there. It may be slow going because the world's falling apart, but other than that, I mean, it should be great. I mean, everything that I've seen that's going into it's pretty good. There's a bunch of really solid stories from a lot of really good writers, and then I wrote some stuff too. So So it should be good. Yeah.
Me and Johnny attempted to write, and then it didn't work out well. So we just
No. I knew it was a bad idea to begin with.
I would also like to throw out there we're recording this on the 19th. So even though I'm not celebrating today, I'd like to wish everybody a happy Bicycle Day. And
what the fuck?
And then the holiday that's coming around tomorrow, that should be great for a lot of people in a lot of different states. So yeah. You guys fucking...
What are you talking about, Yeti?
Thanks for listening. And go follow us on all of our social media. We appreciate it.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Give us follows.
That's how we out. Peace.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
This guy's stealing my line here.
Oh, yeah, I did, didn't I? Go ahead, Johnny, do it.
Yeah, that's fine, dude. Don't worry about it.
Fucking live fast, watch trash, motherfuckers.
Now it's time to say goodbye to the Basement Guys again. They would like to thank you folks for kindly dropping in. You're all invited back next week to this locality to have a heaping helping of their hospitality. Or that is, spooks and spells. Take your shirt off. Y'all come back now, you hear?